Hi guys, we're back with another maths topic. So this one is area, as you can see on the screen. It's on your Planet Maths page 138, and don't worry if you don't have your Planet Maths because I'm going to put pictures of the pages up on the Padlet anyway, okay? So you're still going to get to see it. So firstly, to get started, what is area? Okay, so area is the amount of space that something takes up, or how much space something has inside of it, okay? So for example, we have this rectangle here, and if we were looking for the area of it, we would want to know how much space this whole rectangle takes. It's the same with this circle. If we were looking for the area of it, we would be measuring all of the inside to see the total area or the total space it takes up, okay? Right, how do we find the area of a shape? So if we go back to these shapes here, we can say that we want to find the area of the inside, but how do we do that? Okay, so we're going to find out. So we can count the number of squares that a shape has to find the area, okay? And I'm going to show you what I'm talking about now, okay? So we have a little square here, all right? And if you remember from last week, we learned how to measure with a ruler. So we're just going to roughly say that the length from top to bottom here is 1 centimeter, and the length along here is 1 centimeter. And that would make sense because a square has the same length the entire way around. So the length from here would be 1 centimeter and the length from here would be 1 centimeter, okay? So we are going to call, these are actually called square centimeter, or if we were writing it down, we would write it as cm squared, okay? Now, that probably sounds really confusing right now, but as we get into it, it will make more sense, okay? So let's get straight in. What is the area of this shape? Okay, so we can clearly see we have a square here, okay? And we've got lots of little squares the whole way through the entire shape, okay? So in the last slide, I explained that to find the area, we could count the squares, okay? Now, just going to show you here, we have our centimeters squared because that's the way we're going to be writing our answer. So the answer is going to be here, okay? So to count the squares, let's go straight ahead. So have you got your fingers ready? And we're going to count together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Let's see, are we correct? 9 centimeters squared. Yes, it is, okay? So the area of this square is 9 centimeter squared, okay? Okay, so let's try another shape, okay? So this is an irregular shape. It's not a typical rectangle or square. So how do we find the area? Okay, so from what I've said in the last few slides, we count the squares, okay? And our answer is going to be in centimeters squared, okay? So let's count together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So our answer is going to be 14 centimeters squared. Let's have a look. Correct. Okay, what is the area of this shape? Let's have a look. Okay, so we've got a rectangle here, and although we can't see the squares the whole way through, we need to, I suppose, estimate or judge how many squares would be in here, okay? So we need to use our judging skills and our estimating skills, okay? So we've got 1 square here and here, so we need to figure out roughly how many squares would go along the length of the rectangle, okay? So if we were to roughly judge it, I would say there are 3, okay? So We're okay measuring downwards. We can count downwards because we actually have these to help us. So I know that from the top to the bottom, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so I know that. So it's 5 squares the length, but along here, I know that I have 1, 2, 3. Okay, so I know it's a bit trickier, but we're gonna try and count this one together, okay? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Okay, so from our counting, it's 15 centimeters squared. So let's see, are we correct? And we are. Well done. Okay, shall we do another one? Let's have a look. Okay, what is the area of this shape? Okay, so this is a different kind of shape because it's not a square, it's not a rectangle, and it's not really following the exact same pattern as the last two. But that's okay because we can use the squares all around the shape to help us judge how many squares are fitting in the inside of the shape, okay? So I know anyway here that the width here is going to be 2. Okay, let's see along here. So I know I have 1, 2, and if I try and bring my finger down to judge it, I know that the length here is going to be 3. Okay, so let's start from here and we're going to count down and we're going to find the area of this shape. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So our answer is 10 centimeters squared. Okay, let's try another one. What is different about this shape? Okay, so I'm going to zoom in. So we know it's an irregular shape because it's not a typical square or rectangle. Does anybody notice anything that's missing here in this area? Okay, let's have a little look. Something here to help us out. Some squares have half of them missing. So look, you can see here that we have solid squares here, but there's only half of these ones shaded in. That's okay though, because we can still add halves together. Yes, we can. So we can still find the area by just adding the halves together. Okay, so let's start counting through the squares to find the area to this shape. Now, I would recommend that you write the numbers into the squares so that you don't lose count. I'm going to show you what I mean. So let's start counting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. So we have 17 full squares and then we have a half and another half. So we know that 2 halves make a whole. So if we've 17 full squares, 17 and a half, and another half is 18. 18 centimeters squared is the answer. Okay? Okay, so now you can go on to do page 138 and 39 of your Planet Maths, okay? Now, don't worry about B unless you do want to have a go, but all of these we have just covered how to do them all, okay? Now, look down here with D. It's telling us what is the area of the top of the table. Now, just be careful. You may have to add in some of your own squares using a pencil if you have your book, or an imaginary pencil if you're looking at a screen, okay? Because all this part of the table, it does not have squares. But it's asking us for the area of the full top of the table, so you just need to be careful.